Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
Well, a very good evening to all our viewers. Well, we've constantly spoke about fraud and corruption which has happened during the administration of the previous government, as well as the fraud and corruption which has taken place during this government as well. Now, with the establishment and with the election of this government coming into power in January 2015, a Presidential Commission of Inquiry to look into large-scale fraud and corruption was appointed to investigate fraud and corruption alleged to have taken place during the administration of the previous government until 2015. And this is the final report, as it says in Avasan Vartawa in Sinhalese, the final report of Presifac, or the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into large-scale fraud and corruption, has been out. And now they've investigated 34 cases and they published those cases in this report. We're going to look at one of these cases, which is case number 9. Now, case number 9 looks into fraud and corruption which took place at Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lanka's national carrier, and Sri Lankan Catering. Now, in this report, they mention 6 individuals. Let's take a look at who the 6 people are. For number 1, Priyanka Jayaratne, and then we have Nishanta Wickramasinghe, and then Manoj Divas Gunawardena, Kapila Chandrasena, M.S.R. Chandra Fernando, and Nitya Senani Samaranayaka. Now, who are the 6 people? Well, we don't have much time to talk about all 6 of them because we'll run out of airtime. However, we will talk about 2 of them. And it goes like this. Right, Nishanta Wickramasinghe, he served as the chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines up until 2015. Now let's take a look at why Sri Lankan Airlines ran into so much losses. Nishanta Wickramasinghe, during his tenure as chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines, in 2014, he diverted a flight UL319 from Malaysia to Colombo. And why? To arrive at Singapore so that the chairman, his wife, as well as Dr. Sarath Amunugama could arrive in Colombo. Now, this caused a loss to Sri Lankan Airlines of 596,000 rupees, which is close to 600,000 rupees. Then in 2014 again, he inconvenienced a whole lot of passengers, 75 passengers coming in from Maldives who were set to go on a transit flight to France. So what happened here was the chairman used his authority and directed the flight to France earlier before flight UL110 arrived in Sri Lanka. Now, this caused a massive loss to Sri Lankan Airlines and massive inconveniences to the passengers traveling to France, which meant that they had to be provided accommodation, lodging, so on and so forth. Now, this caused a loss of over 2 million rupees. Then next we have illegally directing Sri Lankan Catering to provide refreshments for the Carlton Rugby tournament in 2013 and 2014. Now, this caused a loss of 275,000 rupees. Well, the list goes on, but we'll keep talking about it. Then he also directed Sri Lankan Catering to provide refreshments for a presidential election propaganda meeting of the former president in 2014 in December. This caused a loss of 185,000 rupees. Then we have our next item on the list. He paid a bonus to a Sri Lankan air hostess who was not entitled to it. Wonder for what reasons? And that cost Sri Lankan Airlines close to 1.5 million rupees. And then we have illegally purchasing vehicle through Sri Lankan Catering. This caused a loss of over 8 million rupees, which is 8.4 million to be exact. Next on the list, maintenance and fuel costs for the vehicle that was purchased. This cost 660,000 rupees, just over 660,000 rupees. And then later we have on the list, a vehicle was purchased through Sri Lankan Catering at the expense of Sri Lankan Catering from a vehicle permit issued for a month. This caused a loss of 21 million rupees. And then maintenance and fuel costs for the above vehicle also amounted to 126,000 rupees. Add up all these losses, amounts to over 35 million rupees of yours and my money. And then we have the next man on the agenda, Priyanka Jayaratne, the minister in charge at the time. Now, at the time, he is alleged to have misused a BMW car belonging to Sri Lankan Catering. Now, come to think of it, the amount losses caused losses caused by the minister of Sri Lankan Airlines is much less than what was caused by the Sri Lankan Airlines chairman at the time. And more on, in addition, the fuel allowance was also so many losses caused there as well, and that was a loss of over 2 million rupees, close to 3 million there. And then illegally paying a Gamba the caterers, a catering company in Maravilla, for supplying refreshments for 1,650 people who attended a UPFA May Day rally in Arnamado. Now, this caused a loss of 330,000 rupees. Then next we have obtaining refreshments from Sri Lankan Catering for a private party at the residence. This caused a loss of 118,000 rupees. And then again obtaining refreshments from Sri Lankan Catering for a party at the Maravilla official residence, again costing Sri Lankan Airlines 116,000 rupees. Now, this caused a loss to Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lanka's national carrier, of just close to 3.7 million rupees. Now, when you look at all these losses, and when the new government came in, we thought you voted a new government in, saying that let's eradicate fraud and corruption, and then a new board was appointed to Sri Lankan Airlines as well to convert these losses into profits. But the question is, did this actually happen? Then we have the CEO, Captain Suren Ratwatta. A board paper comes in for Captain Suren Ratwatta to give him a 10 million rupee bonus a month. And then we also have allegations that 4 top officials at Sri Lankan Airlines were being paid monthly salaries of over 3 million rupees. Yes, let that sink in, over 3 million rupees a month. Now, this makes you wonder, if these people are getting paid such exorbitant and highly valued salaries, the company has to be performing, shouldn't it? Well, good question. Let's take a look at the performances, shall we? Now, from 2014 to 2015, under the previous government, Sri Lankan Airlines made a loss of 11.5 billion rupees. Well, things clearly did not get better. From 2015 to 16, Sri Lankan Airlines continued to make losses, and it only made a loss of 12 billion, an increase of 5 million rupees in losses. To make matters worse, in 2016 to 17, the loss for Sri Lankan Airlines was 28.3 billion, and of the 28.3 billion, 14.3 billion was for cancelling the purchasing of A350 aircraft. Now, all of this aggravated has created a massive loss for Sri Lankan Airlines, and your money and our money. So we will keep a close watch and see how this pans out and how it will turn out and what it will bring about for all of us Sri Lankans. That's all I have from here. Back to the news studio.